Welcome back. You've trusted us with your source material, and today we are doing a deep dive into a classic La Liga mid-table grinder, Getafe's versus Real Sociedad.
Yeah, this one is a really fascinating tactical battle. We've got a data-informed preview, and we're going to be dissecting the tactical matchups, the form, and even some specific predictions for the match.
And that's set for Friday, January 9, 2026, at the Coliseum, Alfonso Pérez.
Exact.
Our mission is pretty simple. We're going to cut through all the noise so you know exactly what to look for when you watch this game. Because it's not just about 3 points.
No, not at all. It's this clash of philosophies, really. Two clubs fighting for survival, but in very different ways.
Right, one for psychological safety, the other for, well, actual league safety.
Let's unpack that. I think that's the best place to start.
Okay, so the setting. We're in Madrid, Getafe is at home, and they're sitting, pretty stable, around 10th in La Liga.
But their results have been a bit of a mixed bag.
A very mixed bag. They'll show these flashes of real resilience against top teams, but then they stumble against sides you'd expect them to beat, especially at home.
And that inconsistency, it's almost a luxury for them, isn't it? I mean, they're far enough from the relegation fight that, well, they have breathing room.
They do.
Yeah.
But the stakes for their opponent are completely different. They're existential.
Oh, absolutely. Real Sociedad are down in that mid to lower part of the table, and they are deep in the fight to avoid the drop.
So they need points. Desperately.
Every single point matters. A draw they can turn into a win is just a huge boost, both psychologically and on the table.
And that urgency, that really frames the whole managerial dynamic here.
It does. Getafe is under Pepe Bordalás. His identity is, it's rock solid. Everyone in Spain knows how his teams play.
But Sociedad is. They're in flux.
Completely. New head coach, Pellegrino Matarazzo, is basically in crisis stabilization mode.
So you've got the established master discipline versus the new coach just trying to get results. Fast.
And when you're a new manager in that situation, your first goal is always stability. But you know that stability requires points. You have to be pragmatic.
You can't just play beautiful football and lose 1-0 every week.
Exactly. He has to find a way to unlock a defense like Getafe's, and that is not an easy thing to do on short notice.
Okay, let's talk about that Getafe identity then, because it really defines the entire match. Bordalás is famous for these defensive walls.
Physical, super compact, and just designed to disrupt and, frankly, infuriate opponents. You know what you're getting.
Structure over flair, every single time.
Absolutely. They are masters of the, let's call it the dark arts of defending, but the source material is very clear on their one big problem.
A lack of goals.
A severe lack of goals.
How severe are we talking? Is it just like bad luck in front of goal?
No, it's systemic. The data shows their expected goals, their XG from open play, is one of the lowest in the whole league. It's not just bad finishing. They just don't create high-quality chances. That recent draw with Rayo Vallecano, a game they really should have won, it just proves the point.
They're designed not to lose.
Which, unfortunately, puts a cap on their ability to win.
So if Getafe is the immovable object, then Real Sociedad, they're kind of the inconsistent force.
That's a great way to put it, because despite their league position, they have shown those flashes of quality.
We saw it in that draw against Atletico Madrid. That's a tough result against a top team. It shows the talent is there.
And that's the potential Matarazzo is trying to harness. He needs to turn those sporadic flashes into something reliable. When you're staring at relegation, you stop playing aspirational football and you start playing direct, pragmatic football.
I just find that contrast so interesting. A defensive masterclass meeting, well, sheer desperation. But if they drew with Atletico, doesn't that suggest they have the quality to break Getafe down?
You'd think so, but Getafe's system is built to nullify exactly that inconsistency. When a team relies on flashes of quality instead of sustained pressure.
Bordalás' system just eats that up.
Exactly. They break up the play, they commit tactical fouls, they force everything into congestion, they thrive on stopping that next pass, which is just deadly for a team trying to build momentum.
So how have they done against Sociedad in the past? Let's get into the head-to-head.
Historically, Getafe has a slight edge in wins. But the real trend, the key thing to know, isn't about who wins, it's about how they play.
Tight games.
Always tight games. Our sources are consistent on this. Very few high-scoring outcomes. You do not tune into this fixture expecting a goal fest.
No, this is a strategic grind. It's an arm wrestle, and the real center of the game is going to be that midfield chess match.
And we know how it's going to look, because both teams are expected to line up in a 4-4-2.
Oh, that's crucial. A mirror formation like that often just cancels each other out, right?
It can, yeah. It forces play into the middle, into those congested areas where Getafe loves to disrupt and challenge physically.
So who are the players we should be watching in that central war?
For Getafe, you have to watch Luis Milla. He's their deep-lying playmaker. His job is to win the ball and launch those quick transitions.
Their whole attack flows through him, basically.
Pretty much. If they score, it's probably because he picked out a brilliant pass after a long spell of defending.
And on the other side, for Sociedad.
It's all about Mikel Oyarzabal. His leadership, his movement. He's the link between their midfield and attack. If Getafe can isolate him...
And their whole attack just stalls.
Completely. It puts all the pressure on Matarazzo to, well, surprise us.
Which feels unlikely given the stats. The consensus is just so strong. A tight, low-scoring match.
It is. It feels almost predetermined, doesn't it? Getafe's structure versus Sociedad's struggle for consistency.
The immovable object versus the inconsistent force.
Exactly.
All right, let's get granular. Let's talk about the specific people on the pitch. The lineups. Both are in that 4-4-2.
Yep, and that formation tells you everything. It's about structural solidity, not attacking flair.
Okay, for Getafe, we have Soria in goal. In the middle of the park, it's Milla, who we mentioned, and he'll be next to Arambari.
Who is a very hard-tackling, disruptive player. He's there to break things up.
But the big question for Getafe, as always, is up front.
It is. They're expected to start Sancris and Adrian Liso, and they're decent players, but the pressure on them to find a goal is just immense.
If they miss the 1 or 2 chances they get.
It's a 0-0 draw or a 1-0 loss. That's the reality. They're the weak link.
Okay, let's flip to Real Sociedad. Ramiro in goal. Their creative spark comes from that midfield unit. You have to watch Takefusa Kubo.
Absolutely. Kubo has that individual brilliance that can, theoretically beat Getafe's structure one-on-one. He's playing alongside Soler and Turrientes.
Yeah, it's up top.
The duo of Mendez and Oyarzabal. We talked about Oyarzabal's leadership, but Mendez really needs to be that clinical finisher. If they can't create through movement, they'll be relying on set pieces or long shots.
Which are low percentage chances against the Bordalás team.
Very low percentage.
Okay, this all points to one conclusion, but let's get the specific numbers. What do the prediction models actually say the final score will be?
The forecasts are remarkably precise on this. A 1-1 draw is the solid technical prediction. It's the default outcome when two teams like this meet.
A stalemate.
A total stalemate. Neither side can break the other down.
But I did see a little bit of a lean toward the home side in some of the models.
You did. A Getafe 1-0 win is slightly favored in some places, and that's really down to two things. Getafe's home advantage, which is significant.
It's a tough place to play.
Very tough place. And their slightly more stable league position. It basically suggests that if one team is going to find a scrappy goal and keep a clean sheet, it's probably Getafe.
So here's the key takeaway for you, listening at home. The most reliable consensus is extremely strong. Expect under 2.5 goals.
And it's so strong not just because Getafe can't score, it's because of how they play. The data shows the high number of fouls they commit. They deliberately break up the game's flow.
It keeps the pace low and the scoring low.
Precisely. The consensus is so strong that even the betting angles reflect it. The draw is seen as a good value outcome, and some models even favor both teams not to score.
That says everything you need to know, really.
It's the whole story.
Okay, let's synthesize this. We've got a battle of structure versus desperation. The data is screaming that this won't be a thriller, but the tactical side of it, it's going to be fascinating.
So when you tune in on Friday, there are 3 critical things you should be watching for.
Go on. Number 1.
Number 1, Getafe's defensive organization. Watch how Milla and Arambari just snuff out those central passing lanes. Can they completely stop Kubo from finding any space?
Number 2, the creativity of Real Sociedad. Can Kubo or Oyarzabal produce that one moment of individual brilliance, that one perfect pass?
Because if they can't, they will be stifled. And finally, number 3.
The battle for midfield control.
Exactly. Will Sociedad manage to hold on to the ball and patiently probe, or will Getafe just disrupt, foul, and keep the game in constant chaotic transition?
So, if we pull back to the big picture, this game's really a referendum, isn't it?
It is. It's stability versus novelty. Can Matarazzo's new ideas overcome the tested, compact, disciplined identity that Bordalás has built at Getafe? Can a team fighting for its life find the edge to break down one of the league's most stubborn defenses? Or will Getafe grind out that inevitable 1-0 win? That's the big question. Something for you to mull over as you watch that final whistle blow.